Hello, everyone, and welcome to Foundations of Finance. Also, welcome to the MSF program here at MTSU. Glad you chose your program, and we hope that this program adds a lot of value to your life. So in this video, we're going to be talking about just the basic introduction of this course and how to navigate the course and what's going to be expected of you. In addition to introducing the course itself, we will be getting started talking about some of the basics of finance. All right, so first and foremost, communication. This is developed to be an online course, so being able to communicate with one another is still vitally important for your continued success and understanding the material we're going to be talking about. So if you have any questions about this class or any of the content that we're talking about, please post them in the discussion boards. There are many options for you to choose from. If you're unsure, you can still post your question wherever. I'll still be able to see it and we can talk about it. So if you have any questions about this course, post it in D2L. A big reason why discussion boards are so helpful is that a lot of people have similar questions. So when you post a question on D2L, it's very likely that someone else has that question as well. And it gives students an opportunity to discuss the problem, which, discussion helps develop stronger understanding of the material. And I'll see it as well, and I can respond if there's something else that has to be addressed. Cannot tell you how many times I've had students privately email questions and I'll get the same question from 10 different students. So please post your discussions about this class on the discussion boards. I'll see them and respond to them as I do. If you have any questions or comments that are more private in nature, right? Some things are not intended to be communicated publicly, then feel free to email me. But any questions about this class or the material we're covering, keep them to the discussion boards. So this is the general layout for this course. So in the first section, we're going to be talking about the goal of the firm and role of financial managers in that goal in managing the firm. A brief review of financial statements and the introduction of time value of money. And time value of money is the cornerstone of the field of finance. It is vital that you understand time value of money, something that we'll be relying on the rest of this class. It's something you'll rely on the rest of this degree. And the more you work in the field, it's something you're going to be relying on as well. So we're going to be talking about time value of money for a couple of sections here. Very important that you practice all the practice material related to time value of money. You're going to be relying on it. Second unit, again, more time value of money. Then we're going to get into talking about bonds and stocks. These are some of the most commonly relied on sources of external capital that companies use. So it's very important to understand the basics of them. We're going to move on to investment criteria, figuring out how we can actually go about applying time value of money to value projects. The weighted average cost of capital, which is how we're going to calculate discount rates that we apply to the projects, which, as you'll see after time value of money, figuring out the discount rate is very important to understanding the value of an asset. And then finally, we're going to look at capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is the process of figuring out how to optimally allocate capital, and we're going to keep on talking about capital budgeting. For that, we'll talk about payout policy and capital structure, both of which add value to the company, not nearly as much as figuring out how to allocate capital, but still important. Finally, we're going to have the course review, and you'll submit your project presentations. And in the last section, you'll have the exam. So a few things that are going to be required for this course. First and foremost is a computer and internet access. Next is going to be Microsoft products. We're going to be using Excel throughout this entire class, so it's very important that you have it downloaded. We also have notes typed up between Word. Some will be saved as PDF. You'll also be having to put a presentation together, so you'll likely rely on PowerPoint for that. There's one book you'll have to get, and this is important both for your understanding of the course and as part of your grade, because there are going to be discussion questions based off this. That book is Financial Intelligence, A Manager's Guide to Knowing What the Numbers Really Mean. This is an excellent book. Highly recommend that you not only read it for this course, but continue reading it whenever you have questions. It's a great qualitative introduction to finance, and it's usually less than $20. So for grading, we're going to have participation. This is you engaging in the discussion boards. And that's going to be relevant to every week of the course. Attendance, this is going to be measured by me looking at your activity, that you're actually going through the videos, that you're going through the required readings and such. You're going to have a problem set and a project. So the problem set is going to be a straight test of your ability to apply the concepts that we're talking about. being able to problem solve questions that are relevant to the field. And the project is going to be valuing a company of your choice, and then making a presentation around that valuation. And finally, there's going to be a comprehensive exam at the end of the term. That's going to be a conceptual exam. That's going to be based on all the topics that we cover up to that point. Typical grading scale, A through F. So long as you do everything that's expected of you, I anticipate most people will do well in this course. All right, and now we're going to take a pop over to D2L, give a brief outline of what this is going to look like. So this is the homepage for the course home. There are just some generic announcements made now, but throughout the course, I will be posting information about what may be relevant career or networking opportunities that are available to you. Cannot stress how important it is that you take time to network and meet people. Right? The vast majority of graduates around MTSU, around Nashville, and generally around places where they live are going to be working where they graduate. So the more opportunities you take to meet potential employers and potential coworkers, the more of an opportunity you're going to have just to build your network that may lead to your career. Other than the book Financial Intelligence, everything you need to study from is located under content. So, right, start here. That's where you should get started. So there's more information about the syllabus, notes about this course. So everybody should read through the syllabus. After that, I strongly recommend everyone goes and reads through the course notes at the start of this class. This is a very condensed version of what we'll be discussing, but it gives a very solid foundation of what you have to look through. And additionally, we have this course notes practice. This is what you're going to be filling out throughout this class. You'll see in each of the videos that are posted, we're going to be working through this spreadsheet to answer the questions for problems that are posted in it. So make sure you download this and work along as we're going through class. Pause if you have to work through the problems, but you have to work through this spreadsheet in order to understand not only this course, but also to be able to apply it to the problems that you're going to be working on. And I also recommend that you, as we're going through these course notes, that after class, you go immediately to the problem set and start working on the problems that are related to the topics we were talking about in class. I also have a condensed list of all of the formulas that we're going to be using in this class. It might look extremely difficult at this point, and there's a lot of information here, but finance is a technical field. There's a lot of information we're going to be talking about. All of it is going to be relevant to you. But if at any point you get lost and you're unsure, go to this formula page and you can scroll through the units to find problems that are going to be related to you. I also have this link of useful external resources. So just some interesting stuff. So I do have a little post here about research I've conducted. So there's links. A lot of these papers are freely available. If you're interested in reading that research, you can send you copies. And there's a couple papers that I've had published that we're going to be working on talking about in the discussion board, because it's directly relevant to a lot of the important topics we're going to be talking about. Khan Academy is just a great general website if you have questions about understanding something. A little further down, Demodern is a great educational resource, but it also has data that we're going to be looking at for the project later in this term. So I highly recommend giving a look through this webpage. We're also going to be relying on the Ken French data library. That's going to be another source of information, as well as SEC listings. Right, but there's also a lot of personal financial websites and apps that you can download to help you, as well as some podcasts. And these are just random ones that I enjoy listening to that I think give pretty decent coverage of topics, as well as just some odds and ends that are tangentially related to financial economics. And finally, I also have the study guide already posted for the exam. So it's a good idea at the start of this course just to read through this, general ideas, just to give you an idea on what the really important topics are throughout each section of the course. So go through this and keep in mind that everything that's listed here is vitally important to not just understand finance, but also to your exams. All right, so in addition to that, You have resources that are available to help you out. The links for those resources are all here. I can't help you out with technical problems going on with D2L, right? If there's an error or something loading, something like that, you're going to have to reach out to the help desk. I can help you with any questions you have about this course, but ITD is going to be here to help you if there are any technical issues with this course or using any of the software we're going to be using. All right, so I highly recommend download the problems at the start of the class, work on it after each section so that you can apply that material. Also the project, so you will be receiving an email from Capital IQ. That's the valuation company that MTSU subscribes to that we're going to have access to, but you have to reply to that email. Make sure you look through Proofpoint at the start of class, especially for the first week. If Capital IQ gets stuck in the MTSU email spam filter, it's automatically quarantined and deleted within 24 hours. So very important that you're regularly checking your email, as it's happened to students in the past where the email to sign up for Capital IQ comes through, gets stuck in quarantine, and then automatically deleted without them ever seeing it. So keep an eye on your email. In the first week of class, I want you to reach out to other students you might be interested in working with, and get your group set up and email me the list of companies that you want to be working on, and I'll update the list of companies that are going to be claimed. So no one can work on the same company across groups, but you're welcome to work with a group of people. And we'll be talking about more of the project later on, but just at the start of the course, make sure you get access to Capital IQ so you can download the evaluation plugin that we're going to be using. Also have a lot of Excel practice here to go through and practice honing your skills in dealing with Excel. It's something we're going to be using throughout this course, so great thing to get introduced. And finally, all the information that you're going to need for the rest of the units are going to be contained therein. Finally, right, the discussion board. This is where you go to ask questions, introduce yourselves, but as well, there's going to be sections that you're going to have to reply to in order to earn points for your participation grade, sections for answering questions, and our discussion board on financial intelligence, which will be due weekly on Fridays. Finally, you have the Dropbox where you'll be submitting the problem set and your presentation and project. And you can go to grades to see your grades at any point in time.